Hello. Hello. Okay, guys, we are live. Let's begin. Ajay Bhardwaj, I am waiting for this project. अरे, thanks for waiting. बढ़िया project होने वाला है. It would be a great project. And let me just tell you what we are going to create in this video. Okay. So, first of all, you might have seen Grammarly, right? The purpose of Grammarly is to, first of all, correct your grammar. Second thing is like it highlights things, it underlines things. And the third thing is if you want to make things formal, informal, and stuff like that, there are some settings. Okay. So basically, that part is not going to be covered today. Okay. Which part is going to be covered? Let me just show you. This is the part which is going to be covered. Okay. That means it's gonna fix your grammar. Okay. How we are gonna fix your grammar? I'm gonna use AI. Okay. Artificial intelligence. So we're gonna use AI. If you don't know what's AI, that's totally fine. If you don't know how to create an AI, that's totally fine, because we are not going to create an AI. We are going to use an existing AI. Okay. So this is going to be a simple video for today. Okay. In the next part, we would be creating the complete Grammarly, like professionalism, yeah, informal and formal things. That's separate thing. Okay. Today our main goal is to fix our grammar. Okay. So you can see that, yeah, I have given a very basic prompt. Hello there. Intentionally I gave wrong spelling. Okay, hello there, I am Viraj Jain. Okay, I think the font is small, but yeah. So you can see, hello there, I am Viraj Jain. Okay, so you can see that this is improper grammar, right? You can see there is no full stop. The I is small. Okay, name is also small, and the spelling of hello is wrong, right? And instead of there, I have written there. Okay, so this is the proper pronunciation. Okay, so instead of this, suppose uh, I can write something else. Okay, I'm just gonna say who are you. Okay, something like that. Who are you? So if I click on fix, so you can see that it's trying to fix things, and you can see that it fixed my grammar. Okay, so the main purpose of this is like you can fix anything. Okay, suppose if you want to write a formal letter, informal letter, if you think that your grammar is not proper, so you can ask this one to fix your grammar. Okay, so this is the goal for today. We are not going to build the complete Grammarly today. In the next part, we'll definitely do that. But in today's part, we're gonna do this grammar part. Okay, I hope you got the idea what we're going to do today. Okay, so for this, what we are going to use, first of all, for building this website, we are going to use simple Next.js application. But if you are someone who knows React.js only, that's also fine. You can make it in Next.js or you can make it in React.js. The process is almost same. Okay, if you see my code, you'll get the idea how you can make this in normal React.js. Okay, so that's totally fine. If you don't know Next.js, it's your choice. You can make it in Next.js, you can make it in React.js. Perfect. So let me just give you a basic architecture for today. Okay, so it's very simple. You're gonna have a front end. Okay, you're gonna have your front end, your website. So your website would be here. Okay, your website would be here. Now your website is gonna interact so that you are gonna correct things. How you can correct things? Okay, so for that we're gonna use an AI, which is Google's Gemini. Okay, Google's Gemini. So basically this AI is free. Okay, this AI is free. If you don't know what's Google Gemini, you might know about ChatGPT, right? Similarly, Google has its own AI which allows you to do similar stuff which ChatGPT does, right? I hope now you got the idea. Let me uh, let me just open Gemini. Okay, just a second. I have to check the search history. That's why. Okay, just a minute. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. Right. So guys, here you can see that this is Google's Gemini. Okay, you can just search Gemini on Google and you would find this website. Okay, so this is very simple. This works like ChatGPT. If I just try to chat with it, okay, you can see that it's gonna give me some answers. Okay, if I ask what is Geeks for Geeks, you can see that it's trying to give me some answer. Okay, so basically it's like ChatGPT. It's using some API. This Google's Gemini is using some API which is known as Gemini API. We are going to use the Gemini API into our website, okay, into our application. Now you might be wondering that it must be costly, it must cost you something. No, Gemini is totally free. totally free for any amount of use. Okay, generally we're going to use it for like smaller prompts. I don't know for very large prompts, but for smaller prompts like a smaller application, formal application, informal application, or some sentence, some paragraph, this would work very properly for any number of uses. Okay, that's totally fine. So basically we're going to use Gemini API. Okay, so I hope you know a basic idea of what's exactly an API. API is a service known as application programming interface. You use this service with your front end. Okay, you're gonna build any type of front end. I've just made a very basic front end so that you understand the logic of this project. So basically, you can make your own UI, better UI definitely. I've just made a very simple UI so that you can do your own things. You can add your own creativity to this one. So basically, what's an API? This is your website. You build this UI, but you don't want to build a backend. You don't want to have a database. So what you can do is you can use some other people's API service. So Gemini is providing API service where I can interact with the API. I can send the API hello. API would be giving me this response. Okay. Similarly, I would be asking from the API, I would be asking what is Geeks for Geeks? API would be giving this response. Perfect. This is something which our API would do. Okay. So instead of using things in this website, we're going to call the API into our website. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm just going to search for API. That is, Gemini API. Just search for this. Okay. So one thing, guys, like I had a client in US. So in that specific part of region, I think this API might not work. In some specific regions, this API might not work. Okay. For India, this works perfectly. For some countries, it might not work, that as per I know. Okay. So you can check it for your country. So you can see that if I just open this, it would work properly. If it works properly, that means it's working for my country. Okay, that you can check. Okay, you can see that it's open like this. That means it's good for my country. It's working for my country, for India. Okay, but for some other countries, it might not work. You can use VPN service. VPN you सब use करते हैं, ठीक है? So you can use VPN service. You can use Opera VPN. So you would be able to visit this website. You can get the API key. Some cases it might not work. So please check. But for India, you can see normally I would get the service. There is no problem. Okay. Dhruv Das, great work, sir. Thanks, Dhruv. Vijay, great project idea. Thanks, Vijay. Okay, so I hope everyone has reached this website. If you haven't reached, you can watch the video again. And also, guys, I'm going to provide you the source code. So there is no hurry. You can just understand the logic. I'll be providing you the source code. Okay, and you can just add your own creation to it. You'll get a lot of idea how you can actually use this API for a lot of things. Okay, for a lot of things, not just this simple spelling correction. You can make your own chat GPT or Gemini like this chatbot. Okay, also make projects based on API, LLM, Hugging Face. Actually, there is a demand for LLM, large language models, but I'm not that person who is right now that much proficient in building AIs. That's why I'm using this API service. But definitely once I feel confident enough, I can build my own AI. Definitely, I'll be making those projects also. But until then, I would be using some other APIs. Okay, honestly, right? Really great. Okay, thanks STC Sunshine Tutorials. चलो shout out भी मिल जाते हैं यार आप लोग को बढ़िया. Okay, so we are here now. Before reading the documents, let me just go inside this button, get API key in Google AI Studio. So you're gonna get the API key. Just make sure you are logged into Google. Okay. So we are in this page, right? Perfect. So guys, here you can see that basically we have this button, get API key. Okay, so you can see that I already have an API key. Let me just delete this. Okay, I've deleted this. Now I'm simply gonna click on create API key. If you already have the API key, that's totally fine. You can use your old API key. But suppose you are opening this for first time, so you would see it something like this. So I'm simply gonna click on create API key. Got it. And guys, here you can select a project from your existing. So here you can see there are a lot of projects. I think I need to just a second. Okay, So it's saying you can create a new project if you don't have already, or add API keys to existing project. Okay, so we can create a new project if we want. Where we can create a project, so you can see that we are able to see some projects. Okay, so we are able to see some projects. If you are not able to see some project, you might be getting some create new project. Okay, but I can just select any random. I'll just select this one, generative language client. Okay, I'll just select this one and create API key for existing project. Okay, so you might get some project, or you have some existing project, so you can just click on that and you can see that I got the API key. Okay, so don't use my API key, you can create your own API key, or never share this API key to anyone. Okay, for this tutorial I'm showing you the API key, but never share this with anyone in any case. Okay, because it might cause some security issues and everything. Okay, after this tutorial I'm gonna delete this API key, so you can create your own API key. That would be the best case. Okay, so I'm simply gonna click on copy, so you can see that I have the API key. Okay, so if you have any issues, if you face any issues, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be happy to reply. Okay, so you can see that I got the API key. Perfect. Now guys, what we're gonna do is we are simply going to create a Next.js project. Okay, so I'm simply going to right click and open with code, open with VS Code. Now you might be wondering, I haven't installed VS Code, so how you're gonna install VS Code? Let me just give you a quick overview how you can install VS Code. Okay, you can simply search for what? VS Code. Okay, VS Code, just search for this, and here you can see that the first website is here. Okay, you can just simply click on download for Windows. Okay, download for Windows, you just download it for Windows, and then your setup would be downloaded. Now you need to install the setup of VS Code. So while installing the setup of VS Code, just click next, next, next. Okay, next button, just like a video game. And just keep one thing in mind, check all the check boxes which come via setup. Okay, while installing the setup. Okay, if you're still not able to install VS Code, please learn the basics properly. Okay, this is something which every developer uses. Okay, so you can watch tutorials also on YouTube, you would find how to install VS Code, you would get that. Okay, so it's an IDE where we write the code. Okay, you can write any type of code, right? And one more thing guys which you're gonna need is Node.js. Since we are using Next.js or React.js, again you're gonna need Node.js to install those stuff, Next.js or React.js. So for that your Node.js must also be installed. If your Node.js is not installed, just search for Node.js, and this is the first website. Here guys you would see that download Node.js LTS. Okay, you can just download this setup. After downloading this setup, you can install the setup. Just click next, 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 your setup would be installed. That's it. And I would suggest that after that you can restart your computer so that every setting is there. Okay, that's it, that's the installation part. Okay, now guys we're gonna create a Next.js application. So here in this folder or any folder you can create a Next.js application. I'm just gonna right click and open with code. So any of your folder would open with code, something like this. Assume that there is no file here. Okay, so you have a fresh folder. Okay, let it be. I'm just gonna create a new folder here. Okay, I'll just create a new folder outside only. I'm just gonna name it as Grammarly, Grammarly. Okay, Grammarly. So suppose this is a fresh folder. I'm just gonna right click, open with code. That's it. So you have a fresh folder in VS Code. That's it. Okay, we have a fresh folder in VS Code. Okay, so in the terminal, new terminal, and here guys what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna zoom in a bit so that it's visible to you all. So control and plus sign, so you can see it zooms. Okay, shortcut. So here guys what we're gonna do is we have to create a Next.js application. So I'm just gonna type npx create next app @latest. Okay, that's it. Just type this. So it's gonna create a basic Next.js application. You can see that it's asking us to install things. Okay, just press Y, hit enter, and you can see that now we need to name our application. So we can name our application like GRAMMARLYTUT. Okay, or live. Okay, LIVE, live. Okay, and we're gonna use TypeScript. Okay, we're gonna implement TypeScript, not that much. Some people might not know what's TypeScript. Okay, so it's like just like JavaScript, the syntax is similar to JavaScript, just few extra words are added. So I'll explain that while creating the code. There is nothing extra. Okay, there's nothing extra, trust me. If you don't know TypeScript, that's totally fine. I'm just marking it yes because Next.js is generally used with TypeScript. Okay, that's why. So I'm just gonna say yes. Okay, and ESLint is like it's used for error checking. Okay, if there is an error, ESLint would tell us. So simply mark it as yes. I don't want to use Tailwind CSS, so no. And I would like to have the src directory in Next.js. We have that. And then we're gonna use the app router in Next.js. We want that. Okay, then we are gonna import the, okay, would like to import, so we're gonna just say no. Okay, so you can see that this would be done. This is the installation part of our Next.js application. And after this, guys, we're gonna create the UI. Okay, we're gonna create the UI. Okay, guys, so you can see console.log. Hello, Viraj. Console.log. Hello, Shekhar. How are you? Okay, so the application has been installed. We have created a fresh Next.js application. You can see it's here. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you can see that inside this folder we have this project created. Okay, so I'm just gonna right click, open with VS Code. Okay, and it's here. Perfect. So we have this project, right? Okay, so guys, here what we're gonna do is we are simply going to type .env. We're gonna create a file actually, .env dot local, local. Okay, we have created a file. Now here, guys, I'm just gonna paste my API key. Okay, you have copied the API key and you're gonna paste it here. Okay, I hope everyone has the API key. If you don't know where is the API key, please watch the video from a little bit before, you'll understand that. Okay, so we have the API key. Now how we can use the API key? So we'll come back to this one. Okay, first let's create a very basic UI. Okay, very basic UI that would allow us to work. Okay, so here we're just gonna go to page.tsx. You can see that some basic code is here. Just remove everything. Okay, just remove everything, make it a plain page. Okay, so this is for Next.js. If you are using React.js, we have app.js, right? So you know how to do things. Assume that this is similar to app.js page. Okay, so here, guys, we're gonna create a division, div tag. Done. After this, just write something. Okay, just write hello. Okay, just write something. We're gonna come back to this and just come to page.module.css. I'm gonna remove the existing css. Okay, just remove this, and also from global css just remove the things. Okay, that's it. Now we have page.tsx. Let's try to use this, guys. Okay, so how we can use this? Very simple. I just need to type the command npm run dev. So just open the terminal, so you can see that your project is opened in terminal. Okay, make sure your project is opened in terminal. Here you need to type npm run dev. Okay, that's it. So once you type this, you can see your application would start where in localhost 3000. Okay, 3000. So I'm just gonna copy this and I'll just go to the browser. Okay, and here I'll just type localhost 3000 and it's gonna take a few seconds. You can see that we got hello. That means our basic application has been set up. In Mac, actually Mac तो मेरे पास भी है, but I would prefer Windows. I usually prefer Windows, but in Mac things would work the same. Just the installation of VS Code and Node.js, you have to do it on your own. Okay. Resolve JSON module node. Why to do this? Because for installing Next.js or installing React.js, you need Node.js. Okay, I think your Node.js is not installed properly. Just check tutorials. You would find a lot of tutorials how to do that on Mac. Because for Mac things are different. Okay, you have to use command line interface, Mac's command line interface. So installation is accordingly. Okay, so you have to check that how to install Node.js and how to create a basic Next.js application in MacBook. Okay, you would find tutorials on that, but after that code is exactly same. Okay, so please check that, because for Windows I have to follow this method. Okay, right. Okay, perfect. So here we are. Now I'm gonna create a very basic UI, not very complicated, very basic UI, so that it's good for beginners. And if you're someone who is not liking the UI, you can create your own UI, definitely. My main purpose is explain the logic, how this API works, how we can correct our grammar. Okay, so first of all, let's create a division. Okay, I'm just gonna say that it's gonna have a class name of main. Whatever style which we write in page.module.css is gonna be given to this division. Okay, now we're gonna say that we have a text area where we're gonna write our text. Okay, so text area. Why we are using text area? Why don't we use input tag? Why we are using text area? Because in input tag you can't hit enter and go to next line. Okay, you only write things in one line. So in text area you have all the freedom, so it's very great. Okay, and like it expands a lot, so that's why. So yeah, let's give it class name. I'm just gonna say that styles dot input. Okay, input, and you can just give it another class name to make it non-confusing. Okay, input is confusing, you can make it something else. Okay, so placeholder, I'm just gonna say that write your text here. Okay, write your text here. Perfect. So someone would write the text, and I'm just gonna say that okay, so right now there would be a hook also. Okay, here we're gonna create a hook which is gonna store the text written by the user. Okay, so I'm just gonna name it as text set text. Okay, this is gonna be use state hook. Okay, so use state, so it's gonna be storing our values. Okay, so our values, so initially there won't be any text written by the user, so it's gonna be empty. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that value is initially whatever it is, whatever is the text containing, it's empty, right? It's empty, so it's gonna show empty things. Okay, that means we're just gonna see this. Okay, and as soon as I write on this text area, I want to change the value inside this, I want to add something inside this, whatever I write. How can I do that? So I can simply write on change. Okay, on change, set text as e.target.value. Okay, that's how you add things to the use state hook, right? So I'm simply setting the value inside this use state hook. If I write abc into this text area, ABC would be coming inside this. Okay, let me just show you, but yeah, this is the way. And let me just write it this. Okay, so if I just save this, let me just check. So you can see, okay, first of all, it's getting an error. Why it's getting an error? We are not using use client at the top, so just copy this and paste it here. Okay, because in Next.js you have to use these things. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste it here. Okay, use client. Okay, that's it. So you can see that I can do things. Okay, hit enter, 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 enter. Okay, I think this works fine. Okay, this works fine. Perfect. All right, so this is working fine. Now guys, what we're gonna do is I'm simply going to uh, write a button. I'm simply going to create a button. Okay, so this is going to be a button. So button, button, and it's gonna be containing fixed text. Okay, so it's gonna be the button where I click. Okay, if I click on this button, the grammar of this specific container would be fixed. Okay, grammar of this specific container would be fixed. Now where I would show the corrected grammar. Okay, correct grammar, correct text, here I would just show the correct text. Okay, so I'll simply create a p tag. Okay, and let me just give it a class name, and let's say styles dot fixed. Okay, and here right now I'm just gonna show temporary text. Let me just write lorem 100. So this is temporary text which I am showing here. Okay, so temporary text for now. Okay, so let's come back here. You can see that this is the temporary text. Suppose I wrote something, I clicked on fix, so this is the text which would show up with correct grammar. Okay, that's what we are gonna show. Okay, this is it, and I think that's the thing which we wanted to do. I'll just give it the class name also. So let me just say that this button is gonna have the class name of this. Okay, let's give it the class name of button. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna go to my css. Okay, I'll just go to my css, and I'm gonna give a very basic style. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so first of all, you can see that the outer container is the main container. I'm gonna say that this container, main container, is gonna take full width and full height. Okay, so I'll just say that we have the main tag. Okay, main tag. Very simple CSS. First of all, I'll just say that everything would be in center. Okay, everything would be in center. So you can see that everything is now actually it's only taking this much height, that's why it's not in center. So we have to give it height also. Okay, we have to give it height also. So I'm just gonna say that the minimum height is 100 vh, that means window size. Okay, and the width is 100%. Okay, so you can see that now things are in center. Okay, but I also want things in column. You can see that right now these three are in row, right? These three are in row. I want things in column, so I'm just gonna say that flex direction is column. That's it. Okay, so you can see now things are in column. Perfect. Now after this, I'm gonna say that inside this we have the text p tag. I'm gonna show it in some better format. Okay, so its class name is fixed. I'm just gonna say that the fixed class name is targeted. Okay, inside this I can just say that some box shadow and color and background color is given. Okay, so you'll see that it has some box shadow. Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna give it some padding and border radius. Okay, so you can see some padding and border radius. Okay, perfect. So you can see it's like this. Okay, now I think one more thing which we need to do is I'll do one thing. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just cut this part. Okay, I'll just cut this part and I'll just create a division. Okay, create a division. I'll just give it a class name and styles dot container. Okay, container. Okay, container. Inside this I'm gonna paste these things. Okay, these three things. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so you can see these three things are here. Now we're gonna style our container. Okay, so we're gonna style our container. I'm just gonna say that this container is containing everything. Okay, so I'll just say that container is containing everything. So I'm gonna say that this container, look, you can see that right now it's taking full width. Okay, every item is taking full space. Why? Because the container is automatically taking full space, and inside container we have these three things. Okay, that means everything is taking full space. So what I want is I want the container to take 50% width. Okay, 50% width. Okay, so you can see it's taking 50% width. Every item inside this are now not gonna take more than this much space. Okay, this much space. Okay, that's it. Now minimum width would be 250 pixel. Okay, if there is some collapse, if the size of the device is too small, width won't be decreased more than 250 pixel. Okay, below 250 pixel. Okay, so now after that I'm gonna simply say everything is in column. Okay, everything is in center, so you can see everything is in column and center. Okay, and let me just give some gap also. Okay, some gap also. So gap is right, gap is 30 pixels suppose. Okay, save this. So you can see guys that there is some gap. Okay, there is some gap. Perfect. Now in below this we have the input field. So I'm just gonna say that the input field is also going to be taking 100% width. 100% width simply means that this input field is, you can see that it's taking 100% space. That means 50% of the screen because of the container. Okay, right, we have the input field. Perfect. Now what else you're gonna do is you can just decrease the height if you want. If you want, you can decrease the height. Okay, since the text is too large, that's why this is showing like this. You can decrease the height if you want. Okay, or else you can just change the layout later on. I think it would be better if we change the layout actually. We can actually do one thing. We would simply do one thing. Okay, let me just do one thing. Okay, so instead of this button here, we are just going to change some style. Okay, let me just change the style. Perfect. Okay, so I'll just say that this container flex direction is row. Okay, so you can see that these two things are in row. I'm simply going to say that the height taken by these two uh okay, but yeah, I have to make it responsive later on. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. Flex direction is a row, right? That means these two things are in row. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that the height taken by this is 100%. You can see that it's taking 100%. Okay, I'll just say that this container is gonna take height as 90 VH. Okay, so you can see that the height taken by this is 90 VH. Okay, I don't want things in center. Let me just remove this. So you can see now it looks like this. Okay, and I think I messed up with the CSS. Anyways, okay, let me just give this width as 100%. Okay, I'm just messing up with the CSS that right now I know this 100%. Okay, so yes, now it looks fine. Similarly, for the input field, I'm just gonna say that height is 100%. Okay, height is 100%. Perfect. And remove this parameter. Okay, so you can see that now this is also taking 100% height. Okay, perfect. What else can we do is we can actually, instead of this, I'm just gonna give a border radius. Okay, so border 1 pixel solid green. Okay, that would be better. Okay, so you can see that, yeah, now it looks better. Okay, fine, fine, fine. I'll just remove the gap. Yes. Okay, one more thing guys which I need to do is in global.css I'm just gonna say star. and margin 0. I don't want any existing margin, and padding 0. Okay, so you would see that the existing margin and padding is gone. Okay, perfect. Now inside the container, we are gonna say that there is some gap, okay, of around 10 pixel. So you can see that there is some gap between these two items. Let's just make it 20. Okay, so you can see that 20. Okay, perfect. And I will also introduce some padding. So padding is around 10 pixel. Okay, and one more thing, box sizing as border box. Okay, so now there is no overflow. Okay, so you can see that the layout is now a little bit better. Okay, little bit better. I changed the layout a little bit. Okay, so someone would write their text here and this would be the response. So what we can do is I'll just give the border as, suppose, red. Okay, red would be better. So red border. Okay, red border for now. So yes, you can see guys that this is the red border. Whatever you write here, I would simply show the fixed text here. Perfect. Okay, that's it. Now guys, what we're going to do is we would simply go inside this button. Okay, we have to style this button. Okay, so I'll just copy this and I'll just come here and I'll just click on button. Okay, I'll just click on button. Okay, someone would click on button, so I would simply give this color green yellow. Okay, colors green yellow. Karthik, hello bro. Hello Karthik. Mr. Streamer, hello sir. Hello Mr. Streamer. Okay, let's come back. Okay, again the color would be white, some padding, some width. Okay, so you can see that this uh okay, I'm sorry, this is the dot button class. Dot button. Perfect. Let's come back. So you can see that the fixed button looks something like this. I think I need to give it gray color. Okay, gray color, that would be better. Okay, so you can see that the button is a little bit better. Okay, let me just make it black. Yeah, chodo, black. Okay, black color. Perfect. So you can see that this is the black color. And now after this, I'm just gonna remove the border and let me just make the border proper. Okay, let me just make the border proper. This would be done. Okay, you can see that now it's done. Okay, fix. So you can see that this is the left side and this is the right side and this is the left side. Okay, perfect. And now guys, what we can do is we can just say right now it's not that responsive. You can make this responsive later. I've just made a very basic UI. And if there is overflow in the height of this one, so I'll just make it scroll. Okay, I'll just make this scroll. Okay, fine. So suppose if there is a very big text, so we'll just make it scroll. Okay, for example, let's check this. Suppose if we have lorem, suppose 300-400 text. Okay, so you can see that overflow is scrollable. Okay, perfect. Similarly, if there is overflow here, this would be scrollable. Perfect. So you can see that left and right is done properly. Okay, so now here we're gonna fix things. Okay, we're gonna fix things. Okay, so here we are simply going to first of all give a prompt, and here same things would be fixed. Or instead of this, I can just show it in the left side. That would be better. Okay, I can just show things in the left side, so you can see, yeah, whatever you write here, things would be fixed. That now that looks better. Okay, now that looks better. Okay, perfect. And what else can you do? Some border radius can also be given, so some border radius. Okay, fine, some border radius is given. Okay, right, so that's it. Now guys, let's continue with the logic part. Okay, with the logic part. So what actually happens is right now, you know that initially there would be no text. Okay, there would be no text. So suppose the text is empty. Okay, so there is no text. It looks something like this. Okay, so here what you can do is you can just create a constant. Okay, and here I can just say my fixed text, whatever text is fixed, that means correct text, correct grammar text would be stored inside this variable fixed text. Okay, and set fixed text. Okay, set fixed text equals use state. Okay, and right now initially it's also empty. Okay, initially this is also empty, so you would see that initially this is empty. Okay, perfect. Now that's fine. Now what we'll do is, now guys, what we'll do is we would simply say that if fixed text dot length, that means there is some fixed text, initially it's empty. But if there is some fixed text, I want to do something else, I want to show something else. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that if text is already fixed, then it would be shown. If text is not fixed, I'm just gonna create not fixed class, and here I'm just gonna say that text not fixed. Okay, text not fixed, or prompt is empty. Prompt is empty. Okay, that would be better. So you can see prompt is empty. Okay, perfect. So I'll just give this proper styling. So I'll just come here to the same CSS. Okay, just copy this and just paste it here and just say not fixed, and let's say that it's gonna have the color gray. Okay, so you can see that prompt is empty. Perfect. So once you write this, once you fix this, then the fixed text would come here. Okay, then that would be perfect. Okay, right. So now this is done. This is done. Now let's try to fix things. How we can fix things? So first of all, whatever you write here is being set to the text, right? So as soon as I hit this button, I want to call a function to fix the text. Okay, how can we do that? So I'll just create a function const fix text. Okay, equals async, because the response is gonna take time. Okay, it's gonna take few seconds to fix the grammar. Okay, so we have created this function. I'm just gonna right now just say console.log text. Let me just check what text I have passed inside this hook. Okay, I'm just checking that. Okay, so as soon as I click on this button, on click, okay, I want to simply call what? Fix text. Okay, what's the function name? Fix text, right? This function, I'm calling this function. Let's check that. Okay, so you can see that right now it's empty. Let me first refresh this, and now if I just inspect and if I go to console, now if I just write something, okay, if I just write something, let me just make it 100%. Okay, now if I click on fix, you can see that I got that text. That means now my text variable is containing the value which I have passed. Now I would simply send this text to where? To Gemini. I would simply send the text to Gemini. Okay, whatever text, Gemini would give me some response. Okay, how we can do that? Okay, so simply here you can see this was the Gemini API. If I click on documentation, control and click, so you can see it's in the new tab. Here you can see that there are some options. You can do a lot of things here. I'm just talking about grammar, fixing grammar using generative AI, but you do a lot of things. Okay, so basically there are a lot of things, but I'm searching for API overview. Can see that this is a basic API overview, right? If I click on get API key, we got the API key. Getting started tutorials. Okay, that's not something. Prompting. Okay, prompting, introduction to prompting with media files. There are a lot of things here. You can just check out this on your own. But I think there was a tutorial. There was some documentation for showing that. Okay, API reference. Let me just check that there's some specific documentation, else I just show you mine. Okay, I'll just show you mine. No, I'll just go to documentation. Acha, okay, anyways, so you can see get started with Gemini API. You are here. Okay, get started with Gemini API. You can just go below, and here you can see REST API quick start. Just click this one. Okay, REST API quick start. Okay, you are inside this. You can see that first of all you need to get the API key, and after this, guys, you can see, yeah, this is something which I want. You can see here's the link. This link might change later on, but yeah, you must know this link. Okay, and then the prompt is in this format. Okay, prompt is in this format, little bit different format. You can see this is the format. Okay, so what you can actually do is let me just explain you with the help of Postman. Okay, so I hope some people know. Can I add this project in my resume for campus placements? Definitely, you Gavini, you can definitely add this project to your college placements, but I would suggest that please make the UI little bit better, because UI creates a very good impression while getting placed. Okay, keep making this type of content. Okay, thanks for that. Please suggest me what else can we make, then definitely we're gonna make more videos like this. Okay, चलो वापस आते हैं. Yes, I was about to install Postman, so let's install Postman. Just go to postman.com. this is something which is going to allow us to test our API. Okay, you must know how to test your API. Okay, uh, okay, I'm sorry, just write the proper one. Postman download. Okay, just write it this way. Postman download. So download Postman. This is gonna help us download the setup of Postman. Just download this and install the setup. Once you install the setup, a software named as Postman would be installed. Okay, so it's opening right now. So here you can see that I have similar type of URL. Okay, let me just give you an example here. Okay, so what you can do is, for the first time you might not know, if you don't know Postman. Okay, how you can use that. So you would see this plus icon. Just create a folder. To create a folder, we have blank collection, I'm sorry. So here, just name this folder anything. So I'm just gonna say GFG Gemini or something like that. GFG Grammarly, Grammarly, something like that. Okay, this is kind of a folder. You can see a folder has been created. Inside this, I'm creating a request to test my API. Okay, so in future, if you are working for a company or a startup, or you're creating your own application, Postman is something which you're going to use a lot. Okay, so make a habit of using this one. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to say that API test. Okay, let's write it this way. Okay, now here what we want is, first of all, let's go here. Okay, let's go to Gemini, this documentation which we opened. Right here you can see, first of all, just notice this, the method is post. Okay, please learn how to use APIs. Okay, I'm not going to teach the basics, but this method is post. Okay, so API has different methods. Please check the methods. Okay, so you can see method is post. Okay, method is post. So here I'm gonna select post method first. Okay, then after that you can see that we got this URL. Okay, this URL. So I'm just gonna copy this part, just copy this much till equal to, okay, and paste it here. After that, guys, you have to add the API key. Where is the API key? So you just pasted the API key here, right? You just pasted the API key here. You have the API key. So I'm just going to copy the API key and paste the API key here. Okay. Can you please make a video on building Vercel along with system design? देखो सच बताऊं, मैं उतना अच्छा नहीं हूँ सिस्टम डिजाइन में भी, बट ओके, I'll just search how you can build exactly Vercel. If you are talking about the exact Vercel website, okay, I think you are talking about the Vercel website, right? Where we host our applications, right? I think you are talking about that. So I have to search how that exactly works. If that's something, it's gonna take a few days. So I'll try that. Okay, I'll definitely try that. Okay, yes. So yeah, we pasted the API key. This part is also done. Okay. Now we have the API key. Now we simply need to provide the prompt, what we want from this API. Okay, what we want from this API. So you can see that at first you can give general instruction to your model. That means always call me as sir. Okay, what instructions you can give? Suppose let's create a fresh chat. Okay, you can see this is the fresh chat. Okay, so here you can see that, suppose I'm giving some instructions. Okay, I'm giving some instructions. So I'm just gonna say, whenever I ask my name, just call me, suppose, Tony Stark. Let's try that. Okay, I'm giving an instruction. Okay, so you can see that it's trying to process the thing. Okay, understood, Tony Stark, how can I help you today? Okay, now after some time, after some chats, now I ask this guy. Okay, now I ask Gemini, what's my name? What's my name? So you would see that you are Tony Stark, right? You are Tony Stark. That's what we want. We are going to initially give some prompts. Okay, these are initial prompts. Okay, similarly, you can see this is the initial prompt. Okay, you can see that this is the role of model. That means this is model's response. Okay, this is model's response. Similarly, user is going to give some prompt like that. Okay, so for this, what you can do is, uh, first of all, just copy this part. Okay, just copy this part and go to Postman. Okay, just go to Postman in body, in raw, and here, guys, we're gonna paste this bracket. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, okay, perfect. So here, first of all, you would see that we have content. Okay, we have contents, right? Just copy this. Can you please tell some free resources to learn Mon stack? Search on YouTube, you'll find a lot of people. There are great educators here. Uh, I don't remember from where I studied exactly, because I searched for different tutorials initially. Like I learned React.js from somewhere else, Node.js from somewhere else, Express.js and Node.js together, and MongoDB from somewhere else. So it's like there are a lot of resources you can just manually search, because it's like if all teachers are great, everyone teaches great, but it's like some people have old courses, so I would suggest go with the latest one. And one more thing is, यार उससे पढ़ लो ना जिससे पढ़ना सही लगता है, सब बढ़िया पढ़ाते हैं, ऐसा है, ठीक है? So you can just search on YouTube, you'd find a lot of playlists on that. It's free, okay? Right. So yeah, we pasted the contents. I'm just giving you the format, okay, so that you don't get confused in future. Okay, so contents. Okay, so you can see that if I go to Postman, we have contents. I'll just give a colon, and after this guys, you can see that this is an array. Okay, so the format is a little bit complicated, but I'm habitual of using this one, but so that's why I'm explaining this. Okay, so you can uh, see that this one is a little bit different, so that's why I'm not showing you this one. I think, yeah, you can refer to this one. Okay, you can refer from here. Okay, the next part. Okay, so content. Okay, so I'll just paste this array here. This is an array, JavaScript array. Okay, inside this you can see this is a part. Okay, this is a part. Okay, this is an object. Okay, so I'm gonna have my first object. What can be my first object? So you can see my first object is first of all gonna have some parts. Okay, some parts. Okay, and what else? थोड़ा सा complicated है, I know, मुझे भी figure out करने में time लगा था. Okay, so here you can see that the next thing here is the model. Okay, role. So you can say that the role would be user. Okay, now here comes the main part. So I'm writing the exact same prompt here. Okay, so first is the user stuff. User asks something, user gives some instruction, and model gave some response. Okay, so what has the user asked? Okay, user has simply asked this whenever I ask my name. Okay, so here I would simply say text, what text user has sent. Okay, so I think, okay, just a second guys, let's come back here. It's an object. Okay, I'm sorry, it's an object, another object. So just create one more object. Okay, inside that pass the text field. Okay, now here what do we have? We need to simply paste our prompt. Okay, I'm just showing you the example, this same example, how you can do that with the help of API. Okay, so let's paste it here. Okay, let's paste this here, and there is one problem. Okay, I think, okay, I'll just make it in single inverted commas, that would be better, and end this. Okay, perfect, right? So guys, you can see that this is it. Okay, this is something which user has mentioned. Now model would simply say, model can respond anything. Okay, model's response would be what? Okay, model's response is what? Suppose model simply replied okay, right? That's what model replied. Okay, perfect. And yeah, it must be inside an object. That's it. Okay, so you can see that first user simply said my name is Tony Stark, model said okay. Okay, fine. If I just click on send, you can see that now it's saying, yeah, now user must ask something. Okay, so you can assume that you are giving some pre-instruction. This would act like pre-instruction. Okay, this would act like pre-instruction. So now after this, user asks something. Okay, user asks something. Okay, the ending must be always user. Now user asks something. What user can ask? User simply asks, what is my name? That's it. Okay, what is my name? Now if I click on send, you can see that model simply responded Tony Stark. Okay, now I hope you got the basic idea how this model would work, right? Now if you got the idea how this model would work. Now similarly we're gonna fix our grammar. Okay, so I have pre-written some instructions. So first of all, user would simply ask from next input, from next prompt, I will be just providing you some text or sentence or paragraph, rewrite the grammar for me. That's what user has mentioned. Model has said okay. Okay, now I've simply say would is my name. Okay, something like that. Okay, intentionally I provided wrong spell. Okay, so now if I click on send, you can see that it corrected the spelling, just corrected the spelling, nothing else. You can see it didn't give me anything else. Okay, just the spelling. Okay, just the spelling. Perfect. So now we have the proper prompt. This is the example. Okay, this is the training example which we're gonna give to our application. Okay, to our application. Perfect. So I hope you got the basic idea what we are going to use to get the proper response. We converted this response to a proper response. Perfect. Now you can write anything else, the response would be always corrected. Okay, that's it. Now we are gonna come to chat gpt, sorry, we're gonna come to our VS Code again. Okay, here we have the VS Code. Here we simply need to call our API the way we called in Postman. We're gonna call our API. Okay, how are we gonna call this? First of all, we're gonna get the API key. So for getting the API key, this API key must have some name. Okay, I'm gonna give this API key some name. Okay, what name? So I'll just give this API key this name, okay, next underscore public underscore Gemini underscore API. This is the API name. Okay, and the value of this API is this key, right? So we're going to use this everywhere, so we don't need to mention the key into every single page of our website, right? That's something secure. Now we are simply going to use this variable name. Okay, so I'll just say that here we need to call the variable name, here we need to get the API key. I would simply say that const API key, that's how you call the API key, const API key equals process.env next public Gemini API key. That means this value would be now stored into this variable. That's it. That's it. Okay, that's what we want. You can just test this by printing it console log API key. You would get the value API key as this number or this whatever sequence it is. Okay, right? Now we have the API key into this page. We simply need to call this URL. Okay, we simply need to call this URL. How you can do that? So first of all, I'm gonna create a training prompt. Okay, I'm gonna create a training prompt. So I'll just come here and or here I'll just create a training prompt. Okay, training prompt. Okay, this would be what? This would be the initial instructions which I gave. Okay, so initial instructions are what? This is the first instruction and this is the response, right? This is the initial instruction. So I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna come here and I'll just paste it here. That's it. I think I did one mistake. Let me just check. Okay, yeah, from here till here. Okay, from here till here, right? So you can see that this is the first instruction and this is the response. Okay, perfect, perfect. This is the training prompt which I'm gonna provide again and again. Okay, again and again. Perfect. And what is gonna change? This last text is gonna change, so it's gonna be a variable. We're gonna change this again and again. Okay, but yeah, this is something which I have kept separate. This is something which is always going to stay same. That's why I've kept it in one variable. Okay, perfect. Now we are here. We are simply going to say that first of all, let's get the URL. Let URL equals. Now which URL? You can see that this is the URL. Okay, this is the URL. So just copy this URL. Okay, here I'm just gonna pass my backticks or just normal inverted commas, that would also be fine. So you can see normal inverted commas, single inverted commas, and here just provide what? So just pass the plus sign. Okay, so that you are adding something to the string, plus sign at the end. You can see plus sign, and here at the end just mention the API key. So API underscore key. Okay, perfect. So you can see that now we have this URL. Okay, the exact URL which we have here, API key and this URL, right? Perfect. Now what we need is, we have the API key done. We simply need to provide the message. Okay, now what message do you want to send? Let message to send. Okay, what message you want to send? You simply want to send this text, right? This text would be sent to the model and the corrected grammar would come. Okay, so this is something containing wrong grammar. I want to send this to the model, okay, to the AI, right? So for that, let's create an array. Okay, first of all, the training prompt would be as it is at the top. Okay, you can see that you have the training prompt at the top. It would be as it is. One thing which would change is this below text. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this part. Okay, and I'm gonna paste this. Now here I'm just gonna provide the text variable. That's it guys, done. Okay, so you can see that this is done. This is the array which I'm gonna pass inside this content. Okay, inside this content. Perfect. So we have this array. After this, guys, what we're gonna do is we are simply going to say that, okay, let's create one hook also. Okay, so that we can show some loading animation. So const is send, okay, and set is send, okay, equals useState, array useState, and make it false. Okay, so initially I'm saying that message is not sent, so this value would be false. Okay, so that I can show the loading circle. Okay, that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so when you want to send the message, I'm just gonna say set is sent as true. I want to send the message, so this loading animation must be shown. So that's why I'm making it true. Okay, so this would allow to show the loading animation. Perfect. Now after this, I'm simply calling the fetch API, which is in JavaScript. Okay, so I'm just gonna say await. Please wait for my response. If it takes 5 minutes, wait for 5 minutes, right? So fetch, and I'm just gonna provide that URL, okay, which we have created. Okay, and one more thing, which is what method is post, post, okay, post. And what, and guys, one more thing which you need to do is just go to the API. Here you can see that in headers they have provided content type application JSON. Okay, so in Postman also I haven't provided it, I guess, so I just provided, although it's done automatically, but it's a good practice to provide things here. Okay, so content type is application JSON in the headers. Okay, so that's what we're gonna provide. Okay, so we're just gonna copy this part. Okay, we're just gonna copy this part and we'll just go here. Okay, and here I'm just gonna say that in headers we are going to say content type application JSON. Okay, application JSON. So let me just pass it in inverted commas and inverted commas. Okay, perfect. Now we have the headers. Now what else do we need? In the body, you can see we have provided this body. Okay, that means what we need to do is just write body. Okay, just write body, and here I'm just gonna say that body is always passed in string format. So json.stringify. Okay, and inside this you are passing an object. What object? This whole object, right? This whole object. This object contains what? Content and message to send array, right? That means you're simply going to write content, CONTENTS, okay, and messages to send array. That's it. So now you have sent this data. Okay, now you have sent this request. Once you send this request, you're gonna get a response in JSON format. So you're gonna get a response in JSON format. Okay, you send this request, you got a response. What's the response? This is the response which you got below. This is the response which you got below. This is the response, right? So from the response, what you want to extract? Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say that okay, just a second. I'll just rename this. Okay, is sending. Okay, is sending. Okay, and is sending, ding. Okay, so this would be better, right? Set is sending true. Okay, and as soon as I send things, I got the response. Okay, I got the response. I'm just gonna make it as false. I'm just gonna make it as false, and I'm just gonna say console.log res.json. Okay, so now let's test this. Okay, so we are just going to test this res.json. Let's test this, what actually happens. So we have the text, we send the text to the API. Okay, and now we got the response. Okay, now we got the response. Let's test this. Okay, let's test this. We're gonna go here. Okay, just a second. I am enrolled in full stack React and Node.js course and covering DSA. Viraj's recording session on Git and GitHub were particularly insightful. His teaching style is exceptional. Arey, thanks, yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, you can check out that course. That's a paid course, by the way. There are some free courses also, so you can check that at Geeks for Geeks channel. And the free ones are available at Geeks for Geeks channel, and the paid ones are available in the Geeks for Geeks website, the courses section. Okay, so now let's come back here. I'm just gonna refresh. Okay, first of all, now you can see you are typing here some wrong thing. Hello, bro, dar. Okay, something like that. Okay, so if I click on fix, you can see that it's trying to send something, and after that you can see that I got the response. This is the same response, right? Same response which I got from the Postman. This is the response coming from Gemini. So you can see that inside this we have content, inside content we have parts, inside part we have hello brother. Okay, hello brother. That's what we want. That's what we want, guys. So now we have this. Okay, now we have this. So that means now we have the perfect response. So we have to extract this response. We have to extract this response. So you can just check out this on your own. You must know what's JSON. Okay. In short, you are simply going to extract the response from the response. Okay. You are extracting the text from the response. How you can do that? So you're just gonna say that let's create a variable response message. Now here you would see that first of all this inside this response, first of all you have candidates. Okay, so you have candidates array. So candidates array. Inside this array you can see that I am targeting the 0th index of the array, right? 0th index of the array, right? Inside this 0th index we have the content. Okay, inside this content we have parts. Inside the parts we are targeting the 0th index. Okay, so we're just gonna say dot content dot content dot parts 0th index of parts. Okay, inside the parts we have the text, right? Inside the parts we have the text, right? This text, so we are extracting that. Okay, now instead of this I am gonna print the response message. So response message. Okay, so let's test this again. Okay, let's test this again. So now if I click on fix, you can see that this is the wrong text, right? And okay, I think I missed something. Okay, content and candidates. Okay, candidates. Okay, perfect. Now let's try to fix this. So hello brother, hello brother. Okay, so you can see this is the wrong text, this is the perfect text. So I want to store this perfect text somewhere. Okay, where can I store? I can store it inside the fixed text. Okay, this here. So we are simply going to say that set fixed text equals the response message res response message. Perfect. Acha, let's try to do one thing. Hello brother, how are you? Okay, so you can see that it's trying to fix things, and you can see that response is as it is. Okay, perfect. Response is like this. Okay, so you can see that it's trying to fix things, and also the line is also maintained. Okay, so first of all you have this response. Okay, you have this response, you set this response into my fixed text. Okay, so here when response is here I want to show the fixed text. Okay, fixed text, that's it. So if fixed text contains something, that means the response is here in the fixed text. We're gonna show the fixed text. That's it. Show the fixed text. Let's do this. Okay, so you can see hello brother, how are you? But here one problem is here. You can see that line is not maintained. So for that, guys, what you can actually do is you can use a span tag. Okay, you can use a span tag, and here you can give the style as pre-wrap. Okay, pre-wrap. So this is something which is new thing which you know. White space pre-wrap. This is the styling which you're gonna give to the span tag, and rest everything would be managed. So you can see hello brother, how are you? Okay, right? So if I refresh this now, if I write something, hi, how is it? Okay, something like that. So you can see that it tried to fix it. Okay, so it's gonna fix everything. Also, if there is some unnecessary line, you can see that it fixed that also. If there is line needed, it's gonna fix that. It's gonna fix your formal letter, informal letter. If you have the proper letter which you're gonna send to someone, you can fix this via this application. Okay, so you can see that this application is done. Let me just resize this. Okay, yeah, you can see that the application is done. You can increase the font size if you want. Let me just increase the font size. I'll just increase the font size a bit. Font size is around 20 pixel, and fixed is not fixed is also 20, input is also 20. Okay, let's see. So you can see, yeah, now it looks great. Okay, so if I say hello, I am Viraj Jain, I am a bad coder. If I click on fix, you can see that it says hello, I am Virajan, I am a no voice coder. Okay, so it tried to fix my grammar. Okay, I think no voice means bad. Okay, that's why. Okay, so it tried to fix my grammar and it fixed the grammar, right? So this is the application which we created. Now maybe in the part 2 we're gonna fix the UI also. We're gonna create the exact UI which Grammarly gives, along with some professionalism and stuff settings which you get in the Grammarly, right? So I hope you understood this project. Now I'm gonna upload this project to my GitHub repository. So first of all, if you want to check my GitHub account, you can simply type github.com/VIRAJJ014. That's my GitHub account. Okay. Here, just go to the repositories. Right, I'm going to upload the source code. Okay. So I'll just click on new repository, and here I can just name the repository as GRAMMARLY Grammarly underscore Gemini GEMINI. Okay. Gemini, so that I remember I made it because of Gemini. Okay, underscore Next.js. I remember now I made it in Next.js. Okay, that's why I'm naming it like this. Okay, so create repository, and here guys, I'm just gonna copy things and I'm gonna upload the code. Okay, just wait for a few seconds. Git add dot, and I'm gonna upload the source code. Okay. One more thing guys, which you would see when I upload the source code, here you won't find the .env.local file because it contains my API key, which is very secure thing. I won't share it with you. So make sure whenever you download the code, you create this file in VS Code and you add your API key along with this variable name. Okay, just make sure to do that, and then that code would be for you. Okay, or else you can follow my tutorial, you would get everything. Okay, so this is the repository available here. You can check out the source code. Everything is available. The code is complete, and this would be a good project. You can use it for your college, and actually yeah, this is something which you can go for minor and major projects. You can use it for minor and major projects. Okay, so that's it for today guys. I hope you understood this video. Our next project would be something else. We're gonna see. If you have some suggestions for these AI based projects along with your Next.js or React.js, then you can definitely mention that in the comment section, and I hope you enjoyed this session. Okay, so that's it for today. I will see you in the next one. We'll mention the repository name also in the description. Okay, so I will see you in the next one. Till then, see you, a good day. Bye bye.